right, so welcome to Cause and FX, where making meets meaning, and I'm your host, Toxity, Toxity. Toll Jam, thanks for having me. Today we have our guest Melody from the ECSU Cosplay Club here to talk about cosplaying, her journey, and maybe even some tips and upcoming events for the club.
Oh, yeah.
We already kind of had a little introduction with you.
Yeah, packed her up,
yeah. Yeah, it was really helpful. But I'm going to go more in depth and just talk about the club and then, you and cosplay, because that's what I love talking about. We know that you're the president of the club, but I kind of want to know, why did you start it?
Well, it's more of something that I wanted to see in ECSU, and, the thing that if you want to see something, you got to make it. That's the whole vision behind it. I was actually heavily inspired by my friends up in Rochester who had a huge cosplay troupe that actually, had their own chess shows that people would audition for.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Half the members weren't even, from the school.
That's still pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was awesome. They had their own convention up there, and...
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
I love when college campuses do that. Like, when they have their cosplay clubs. Oh, I think there's a couple down in Florida that are like that. I don't think it's SwampCon. Maybe it is. It's one of those smaller ones.
I know my sister used to go to UConn, and she mentioned that they at least used to have conventions there. I'm not sure if that's true anymore, but we are a college, and I feel that's, if we want this sort of community, then, someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
And honestly, I wasn't sure if I was up to the task. I mean, I'm not the best, most organized person in the world, but if someone's gonna open up a cosplay club, then someone's got it.
It's
Exactly,
true.
yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
When I first got here, I wanted to do it because there wasn't one, and I was here from, beginning of 2024? That's when I started here? Yeah. And I was like, man, a cosplay club would be awesome. But then I got, I was like, I don't know how to do that. I'm too shy for that. And then I found you guys, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
And we just started last semester, and I do feel like maybe I should have tried doing it sooner, because it is my last semester, and I will be handing down the cosplay club to someone else as I graduate. But I'm hoping that it will develop into something amazing later down the line.
That'd be awesome. And keeping up with it, too. You can check in and be like, hey, guys, how's the club? What's going on?
I'll definitely check in.
Yeah. And then I wanted to ask, what made you interested in cosplaying in the first place?
Oh,
when did you
yes.
discover it, and why do you like it?
Well, I always had a past with anime, and honestly, my sister did a bit of cosplay, so it's always kind of a thing that came about my mind, or something I figured that I could do. Another thing is that I just really loved Halloween. I loved characters. I love expressing nerd culture as characters and as cosplay. So when I was younger, I just really loved to dress up for Halloween and all that, and I really loved going to conventions. Luckily, I got to go to conventions when I was younger because my sister was a cosplayer who went on her own.
Dope.
Yeah.
So I got to go to Kineticon a bunch, and I really fell in love with Kineticon. It's really... I don't think I've seen another convention that has so many cosplayers and such a strong cosplaying community.
It is very strong up there. So is the furry community at Kineticon, too. It's very, very strong and very, very,
they have a whole
community.
Yeah. If you go to PAX or Rhode Island Comic-Con or the other ones, there's not nearly as much of a cosplaying sphere as there. I just kind of assumed that Kineticon was the basis for conventions, but no, it's really something special.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was my first con, too, so it was I don't know if it was your first, but, it's just, I don't know, it's got this kind of vibe to it.
It's everyone's dressed up, even if it's casual, everyone's just here to, express what they love, and...
That's so true.
Yes.
Every time, because I've been to a number of cons, and, everyone is dressed, even if they're wearing, a shirt, or they have, a little something on them.
Just a little something. Cosplay doesn't have to be, super in-depth or serious. I saw someone wearing a Hawaiian shirt next to a Noelle cosplayer. I was like, oh my god, is that Asgore? And they were like, no, this is just my fit.
Asgore, it's awesome. This is just my fit. I have a friend who just told me yesterday that he cosplayed from this really, I can't remember what the video was called, but it was a guy dressed up as like what are those speeding things? Speeding radar trackers. And there's like a really fast car that goes by, and then he's like in the video, the guy like turns around, he's dressed up as this giant like cardboard box like speeding radar thing, and he went to a con like that, and it had like the speed limit on it and stuff, and he was like doing it like in the video, and like it's just, people like stupid costumes.
Stupid costumes are some of the best. It's even better if you like compile it with acting. That makes it
yes
that really seals the deal.
Which could go into our other topic that we were just talking about with cosplaying and like the play part that we don't really get to see as much anymore.
Yeah, so I feel like this was a big part of when cosplaying was younger as a culture, because people just kind of threw together whatever they had. They really wanted to cosplay because they loved the character, and a part of the way they expressed that they were actually the character was the play aspects, cosplaying. So people who love to cosplay, they'd really go into the acting aspect, and you still sort of see this amazing sort of acting nowadays. I mean, you probably, if you've been to a con, you've probably seen someone dressed as like a Michael Jackson horror killer, standing eerily still to the point where they look like a statue. They're not even breathing. And I practice that. It's really hard. And they'll just sit there still for hours and then randomly jerk and move when you pass by, and it's the most terrifying thing. And their costume doesn't have to be complicated, but the way they act that really sells who they're supposed to be. And
100%.
It's just those small things that really add to the character. Like the way, I mean, if a lot of people cosplay Five Nights at Freddy's characters, but the ones that really stay aren't necessarily the ones that have the most gore and detail, but the ones that move jerkily, like they're in pain and robotic. And that really sells it.
I feel like a lot of, how would I phrase this? I feel like a lot of that acting got transferred to social media, which is not fully unfortunate, but like no one carries that into the real world with them at cons, and they just focus on the acting solely in videos now.
I think I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean.
Because social media, it's like preserved, people can see it, but also there's just something special about going to a convention and being in the moment and seeing people act as the characters and embody it for a day. And
and I'll give I'll tell our listeners here about when I went to Kineticon. I think it was last year, because I was dressed up as Farina from Genshin Impact, and listeners, I love Sanji from One Piece. All right, I love this man, and I saw a Sanji cosplayer, and I was like, should I go say hi? I was like, I wanted a picture. So I walked up. I was like, hi, like I love your Sanji cosplay. I was like, can I get a picture? And this man went down in his Target tote bag and pulled out a rose and a heart lollipop for me. Literally got down on his knee and like presented it to me. Did this like little hand thing too. It was just so dramatic. It was like, and I just like, I was so red. I was blushing. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was like, thank you. And I got my photo. But that moment inspired me for when I went to Anime NYC 2025. Yeah, we did a bunch of my friends and I did a Oron High School Host Club group.
Oh my goodness!
Every single character, of the main group, we all had like, we're matching. Everything was like, we looked so good. And I bought a big thing of like little tiny roses to give out to people that recognized who we were. And I was doing that thing where I had like my hand behind my back and I was bending down and like had my hand out towards them, giving them a rose. And some people were just like head over heels for it. It's just, it's little moments like that I really want to see more.
Those are the moments that really stick with you. I remember an Oran High School Host Club cosplay group in Kineticon too, and they had this like whole little tea table set up.
I remember them.
It must have been such a pain to like take around the entire convention, but
it had wheels.
But it was so adorable the way they were all gathered around.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool.
Cute. But I miss things like that. Like, not that it's not something that people do, even if it's like a little casual like playing part, because sometimes I'll do that with friends. I'm like, oh, like that Soul Eater character's doing something funny, or like, it's just funny seeing the characters doing stuff they maybe wouldn't naturally do in their show.
And I once stumbled in Connecticut, a bunch of Call of Duty cosplayers were just gathered on the floor, their head down in their arms and just kicking up their feet.
That's beautiful.
I think I have a picture of them. It was so amazing.
But yeah, those are the things that I want to see more, because it's not just costumes. I mean, obviously that's like a very big portion of it, but people forget about the play. It's cosplay.
Get
like,
into character.
Have fun with it too. Like, it's not meant to be taken super seriously. Like, unless you're going and competing, that's a different category of thing, which I have no expertise on, so I will not talk about competitions on here.
And I do think cosplay wrestling really does. In Connecticut, there's a thing called cosplay wrestling, and it really does hammer home the cosplay aspect, because they're all in wrestling get-ups. They're not necessarily like the most dramatic cosplays, because they can't wrestle in that. But the way they move and talk is how they express the character the most. Like, someone who's dressed as like a Street Fighter character. Like, I saw someone dressed as Jiri, and they were doing all the kicks. They were doing all the kicks, all the moves, all the iconic things that you would see in the actual Street Fighter game, and I was just like, oh my god, that's Jiri.
Like, they knew their character.
That's them.
In the flesh. I love the cosplay wrestling when I go, because I always sit down and watch it, because because you can hear them slam each other on the thing like a mile away on the other side of the convention center.
It's so loud and it's so eye-catching, and and people are always so in character for it, because that's part of the appeal of cosplay wrestling, because you want to see the cosplayers but also the characters duke it out.
This is like the first time I've heard of cosplay wrestling. It sounds awesome.
Oh, well, you're going to Connecticut this year, so you're going to come and see it. It's just this little, like, it's not even a big ring either. It's like they moved it from the other years, but they put it in a more open area, kind of.
And it just goes on for hours. They're just a bunch of cosplayers just like slamming each other down.
It's so funny. It's like, again, not like a super serious thing, although they take it in a serious, fun way.
Yeah,
like,
serious, fun
way.
Like,
they have an announcer that's like introducing all the fighters, and he's like, he's talking about what's going on, and they even have like this little tent off in the corner where like the wrestlers come out and they're like they're like flaunting. And
it is a
showing
championship. They do have like the.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like, they fight for a title.
Wow.
So you're going to have to come with me.
I'm going to have to go in there and participate, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're going on, I don't know if they do it every single day of ConnectiCon.
I think they do, yeah.
They do? Okay, well then, we'll go either both days or one of the days.
Yeah. Except for like Thursday, but Thursday is like
Friday.
Thursday is like what are you even doing Thursday?
Thursday is badge check-in day.
Literally. But if you do go Thursday at like the stroke of midnight or so, there is an amazing panel that happens every year, which is the rotisserie chicken eating contest.
You mentioned this before, I think.
I've also, because that's ran by my friend's friend.
What?
Yeah.
You know the rotisserie?
Yes. It's ran by my friend Christian and Christian's friend that does the rotisserie chicken thing, yeah. And he's invited me to it, but I'm never there on a Thursday, so I might have to be there.
Do it. You should. I'll drive you there.
It was legendary. It was the most beautiful panel I've ever been to.
And I see it every year, like, in clips online.
Like last year, Cowboy Gale was there with their drink of choice, and he had milk and Sprite mixed together like Sprilk, and everyone was cheering, drink the Sprilk and
Sprilk.
And it was so loud, like, if you get overstimulated easily, I'm not sure if you want to be in that room, because everyone they passed out little chicken rubber, like, squeaky toys.
Oh my god,
no.
dude.
And every time it got a little bit quiet, someone was like, I did not hear enough squeaks.
Hear enough squeaks.
And it was constant.
Oh my gosh.
Things like that I love at conventions, that just, like, you would never see that anywhere else, but a guy eating a rotisserie chicken just in front of a big group of people. That, if you're not at an eating contest, at least, but like, you would never see that anywhere.
There was like a pre-show too, like a whole game show about like chicken themes. Like,
That's
what is
amazing.
the Minecraft mob that rides on a chicken?
God.
Chicken jockey.
Chicken jockey.
That's incredible. But yeah, I know my friend. It's my friend's friend that runs that panel, but he's there helping run it too. So it's funny.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. I'm so glad you brought that up.
You should really join it though.
What
You
join
should.
it?
Yeah. Just join for one like
I know.
day.
Thursdays are hard though, because I've never been to Connecticut on a Thursday before, so I don't really know how it operates.
The only place open is really the Marriott, so it really is badge check-in day.
Yeah.
But they do have a lot of small fun panels that are just going on. So it's just like kind of chill day.
Yeah, but that's the day you want to go get if you're getting a weekend badge or getting. Well, no, you can get it if you're getting a one-day badge too. That's just the day to go get your badges, because when I tell you the lines.
Yeah. Yeah, Thursday lines are so much more bearable, and you're missing out on so much if you're just waiting and couldn't come back.
And that's so true, because I had my stepdad come year before last. Oh, was it last year? I don't know. It was one of the last 2 years. I think it was last year. And he was like, I told him to get there before 8 and get a parking spot. And I was like, bro, if you don't get here and get in that line right now, you're going to be waiting for 2 hours. Guess what?
Waiting for 2 hours.
He was waiting for 2 hours on a Sunday. Sunday.
If you're on Saturday or Friday, you're cooked. You're cooked.
Absolutely. So, Thursday or early Friday, you go get your badge.
Okay.
This is how it is.
Okay.
That's how it is. It's just play it safe.
Absolutely.
It's so bad. For me, you don't have to worry about that, because I'm disabled, so I can't stand in long lines like that, because my body can't physically handle it. So I'm able to go around and go into the disability services line and get the pass and stuff and get the little disability sticker, which is great. But I'm allowed to have other people with me in case something happens to me.
I hope nothing that happens to you.
No, nothing will. Nothing will. Well, we don't know that.
Well, yeah.
But
But
But yeah, he was coming in at a different time, so he couldn't come in the line with me because I had already gotten my badge. But since we were talking about anime and such, I kind of wanted to see what some of your favorite things to cosplay from. Are you more of someone that cosplays from anime or more video games?
I've always leaned more towards video games. I mean, I did have a phase where I cosplayed some characters from a visual novel that I won't talk about that.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
Go ahead.
I was 15. But that aside, I lean more towards video games in general. One of the earliest cosplays I did, of course, when I was a teeny tiny child, was Pokemon trainers, and then and then when I got older, I really wanted to do Nero from Devil May Cry.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And quite frankly, I was like, can I please get this jacket, pretty please, Dad, off this shady site? And then I had to make the arm out of paper mache. It was nothing but glue. It was nothing but glue and paint, but I was so sick. I loved it, and I just passed it around in middle school.
Did you say glue and
gosh.
paint or glue and pain?
Both work.
Okay.
Both work.
That's amazing.
Still love cosplaying Devil May Cry. I mean, I've souped up my Nero cosplay since then. Still going at it. Really want to do Monster Hunter down the line, but that's an ambitious one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And lately I've been interested in obscure little Russian game called Pathologic, so I'm intending on cosplaying from that game.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm kind of the same. I don't know. A lot of my costumes are either from Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail or Nier Automata, or what else have I got going on right now?
You did an
Cuphead.
Evernight. You did Evernight recently, yeah? Kind of?
Yeah, it's from Honkai Star Rail. Yeah. I've always been more, even when I first started out with cosplaying too, I cosplayed from Bendy and the Ink Machine. That was an OG horror game back in the, I say quote unquote horror game. Wasn't really
Mascot horror.
Mascot horror. There you go. Mascot horror.
Yeah.
And then I cosplayed from Cuphead. So my foundation is video. Actually, my first cosplay was a vault suit from Fallout.
Hey.
I love Fallout.
Okay.
Clearly, because my phone. But yeah, so I would do do a lot of video games, and then anime I sprinkle in every once in a while. Have you
Yeah.
ever done any anime cosplays?
I'm not sure if I have actually. I guess you could count the visual novel thing because it had an adaptation, but
Okay.
not really so much anime. Not for a lack of loving it. I've always kind of wanted to do it, but it just never quite came around. Maybe it's because I've been a huge video game nerd, especially later on in my life.
Yeah.
Are there any particular anime characters maybe you'd want to cosplay in the future?
Oh, definitely. I mean, my friend group really wanted to do like a sort of Gurren Lagann like
Ooh.
group cosplay.
Oh yeah, you gotta do it, bro.
You gotta.
Yeah, and I definitely have to like choose someone from that group.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be a hell of a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you and I, Toll Jam and I have been talking about what we're gonna do for Kineticon and stuff. So like, I already know what you want to do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then,
sick.
I already kind of act like David anyway.
you just gotta style your hair. You
Yeah.
gotta slick it back.
I'm growing it out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you gonna be the girl from Guilty Gear?
No.
Stride?
Oh my God, Lucy from Guilty Gear.
God.
Lucy from Guilty Gear.
Here. God. But I'm gonna be doing Rebecca, and then you're doing David.
Oh, nice.
A
Yeah,
combo.
yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love to make the power gloves or whatever she's got,
Yeah,
but like
the big old gauntlets.
That is a complicated project to be.
so I'm like, you know what? She don't need them.
Nah.
Maybe I'll get like a Nerf gun and paint it or something like that. That's good enough for her. Whatever.
For a pathologic costume, I did consider like articulated gauntlets for like not that the character actually has it, but one of them is like a big imposing plague doctor sort of thing. You never see their arms, but if like it had like bony long fingers, that would be cool, and you could definitely incorporate that in like a big gauntlet sort of thing.
That's true, huh? That's also what I love about cosplay. It's like creative freedom.
Yeah,
like
creative
do
freedom.
just do whatever you want to
People
do.
find out different ways to make things. It is kind of crazy. It is and it makes things look so realistic too. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I love seeing crossovers at cons too. Like they'll merge two characters together. And
Dude,
it's like, oh.
oh my god, I've seen this one cosplayer who is dressed as like a Monster Hunter Bowser. So they were
What?
carved. They basically were dressed as a Monster Hunter who carved up Bowser and turned him into armor.
No way.
I
What?
It was
feel
so
as though I
sick.
might have seen that before.
It was so sick. He had like Bowser's axe and like a green Bowser armor set, but it was totally Monster Hunter. It was like,
Oh my
God.
goodness. That's
You're like,
awesome.
you're amazing.
my inspiration, my idol.
My
My
idol.
idol. Especially because they can do like all that foam work and
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's totally in line with both Monster Hunter and Mario. Like Bowser's iconic, and that's what Monster Hunter does. They find a monster and
Yoink.
they turn it into armor.
yoink.
Yoink.
It's mine now.
It's mine now.
So what are your specialties? Because our listeners don't know what you're good at for cosplay. So what do you specialize in?
I'd say I'm not actually the most experienced cosplayer in the world, but
okay.
I've touched upon a bit of like various things, foam, 3D printing, or mostly modeling. I haven't really gone to
You got
printing
great
so much.
3D
She does.
modeling
She does.
skills.
She
Oh,
does.
thank you so
When
much.
you showed us in the club, I
No,
was
she
like,
does. I was enthralled.
yeah, real.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Nice.
I think I lie more in the crafts aspect, though. I did learn from this college itself how to sew and how to like
That's cool.
put together outfit with the costume shop and Anya's classes. She teaches costume technology, and that's where I learned how to actually start making outfits. And ever since then, I've been trying to like sew my own costumes.
Man, I wish I could take those classes. I'm gonna graduate.
It is really tragic.
Yeah.
That's so
It
cool.
is
I want to
very
learn how to
unfortunate.
sew, but like, I want to take a course that will like actually challenge me into sewing. You know?
We at the Cosplay Club are actually doing our next meeting, sewing a bunch of little tiny plushes of our mascot, and that we're also going to teach how to sew because that's a simple sewing project. So if you want to learn how to sew, feel free to join us on Wednesday, and we'll be there.
Heck yeah.
Wednesday 5 to 7, right?
Wednesday, 5:30 to 7:30.
5:30 to
5:30,
7:30.
okay.
Communication Building 103.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, right across from the radio room.
Right across from the radio room.
Right behind us.
Right behind us.
Yeah. Because everyone's kind of got their own specialties, right? So, like, you're more hands-on crafty. I'm more, like, makeup and wigs, you know?
Yeah, that's something I've never really been as good at, but it is such a good, important aspect. My sister's really good at those too, and she's taught me how much makeup can dramatically change the way you look. I mean, just look at JoJo cosplayers with their crazy, like, lines.
They are so cool. I couldn't get through JoJo. I'm so sorry, everyone that's listening that likes JoJo. Apologies. But, yeah, they do, like, that cartoon kind of, like... I mean, they make it look just like the anime.
It's so good, yeah. They draw on their muscles.
No, literally.
I've never seen that
nice.
before. That sounds so cool.
It's like the Arcane cosplayers. They do the same thing. Where
They do the same
like,
thing?
Yeah, they do like the painted like effect.
Oh my God.
Like I don't know. How
It looks like they're exactly out of the show. Like they're
Oh
the
my
3D
goodness.
models of like, I don't know, a fighting game or something.
Yeah, no, literally. It's just so cool about cosplay in general. Is like you don't need to do the makeup, right? It does add to it, but you're not any less of a cosplayer. Like if you don't do the makeup, you know, or if you can't build something or can't sew, you know, it's like whatever. But doing that makeup, and then you can do it however you want. There's no instruction really on makeup. Just I don't know, make it fit your face. I don't
You
know.
can make it realistic, or you can make it like dramatically 2D.
Or you can just do like I know a lot of people do the Gyaru subculture like makeup too.
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Where they like
yes.
make their eyes like big and they have
Yes.
the really really big lashes and stuff. And I'm like that is just they just mixing like the culture with the costumes, and I think and they do it respectfully, which is real also important. But yeah, it's super cool. I don't know. I love cosplaying. I love cosplayers. Like I could yap about this for an entire day. And then let me see here. Let's talk a little bit about club meetings. What do you guys do there?
So our club is basically about, because cosplaying, as you mentioned, is so many different disciplines and crafts, we want to try and just get people engaged in those different aspects. So it's kind of a place where we want people to be able to share what they're good at and learn what they might not have learned. So someone who is good at like makeup and wigs and styling may not be as good as making prop weapons or like big functional things, and or 3D modeling. People who are good at 3D modeling may not be as good as like more hands-on things. Well, 3D printing, it does involve hands-on, but regardless of that, like sewing. So because cosplay is so multifaceted, we just want a place where people can not only share the skills they've obtained, but learn more about like those other pieces of skills. And I mean, as president, I've done a lot of as much research as I can into like all these different forms of cosplay, and I feel like I've only just brushed the surface.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy,
I
right?
mean, I got nothing to add to the cosplay skills.
And I look over at you and I'm like, you got something to say? And you're like, huh?
I got nothing.
That's like also the beauty of it, because people who have done cosplay also come in with fresh ideas about what to do and what skills they might be able to apply. I mean, if you've never done cosplay before, or your idea of tackling cosplay might be vastly different, and it's whatever you choose to do, however you choose to tackle a problem, there's no one right way to do cosplay or create a vision of a character, because the way you do things uniquely just contributes to like a vast, beautiful art form, I want to say.
So cool.
Dude, I'm so glad she's our first guest.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, what a great way to just, like, introduce
Fire.
everything. It's fire.
Bars.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Spitting facts out here. I don't even know how to, like, I don't even know if I can bounce off of that. That was, like, that was just a perfect sentence. I feel like if I tried to say anything more, I would just be spitting back the same thing you just told me. So we'll just move on to the next question.
Thank you.
What are some upcoming events that you guys are looking forward
Ooh,
to?
yes.
I mentioned this week we're going to be sewing our mascot little plushies of tomatoes. You can, like a little Kirby little guy, but
And tomatoes.
Fashioned after a sewing tomato. So in sewing, you have this little pin cushion guy.
Oh, yes, yes.
And that's what we made our mascot after. It's a very simple sewing project, so it's also made to help people get introduced. It's also so you can keep whatever you sew, but also we're going to take whatever extras we get and sell them for a fundraiser. So it's like multifaceted. We're still working out like month by month what we want to do by the month, but sewing is definitely one. We also want to do stuff with EVA foam, thermoplastics potentially. Thermoplastics,
like Warbler and stuff
yes,
too?
exactly. Yeah. I've been working with Warbler myself a bit for like masks, and it is a fun material, but it's quite expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It does take quite a lot of time too to like shape it right. And we definitely want to touch on like more the sustainability aspect. So we had in our introductory meeting, we had a bit of like discussion about how we can cosplay sustainably and cosplay thrift stores and
Yes.
like basically how you can cosplay on a budget as well. And we're really trying to be considerate about our members' budget and also ours,
Yeah,
since
because
we
don't college students.
since we don't have much of one.
Real.
Yeah.
That's true. I think I at some point we'll have a conversation on that. One of my, I can't remember. Yeah, I think later on this month I have like crafting on a budget and closet cosplaying and stuff. Just to touch on that a little bit, because like people, like someone that 3D prints something, right? That's really cool. But someone could also just make that with like materials that they find too. Like there's no, like you said too. There's no one right way. Here we go. One right way. to like make something. So there's 3D printing can be kind of expensive if you don't have like the materials, or you just can't find if you don't have like a library or something near you.
Cosplay is like make what you can with what you have. Basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so awesome, because some people make some crazy things. There are people out there that make whole sets of armor with cardboard.
Yeah, we were actually putting on videos of people who made like mech suits out of cardboard and functional things, and like a big part of cosplay is like paper clay is a really good way to mold things, and it's literally just paper and glue and water, and you can make the most impressive props.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I can never do that. I have to have someone else do that for me.
No, you can.
It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, but you can make something look really good and really polished if you just, make with what you have.
And it's like all for the love of the character too. Like that, no one really talks about that. It's like, oh, you're doing all this stuff for a costume, but you're doing it for the character that you like love so much.
You want to represent what you love, you know. You want to show people what you enjoy about it. And
absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't quite answer about the future meetings thing.
Oh yeah.
So alongside the sewing stuff we want to do, we did a 3D printing thing, and we might revisit it since we have a bit of a different member base. So we might revisit the 3D modeling stuff. We might go into EVA foam, since that's, I wouldn't say the most affordable, but it's like one of the more affordable options for prop making, given that you combine it with something else too. We're probably going to bring back cardboard, since that's a nice place to
cheap one.
Yeah.
A nice cheap one and very accessible. And we're still kind of figuring out month to month on exactly what people want to do and what they're interested in, because we want to cover what people want to see. And we're also thinking about doing possible events, possible clinics where people could like come in and create something, pay for their own materials, and get to make something.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some conventions have stuff like that too.
Yeah, exactly. It's all like still ideas coming forth, and we're still trying to figure out what people exactly want to do and want to see from us, but we want to really just find ways to appeal to get people into this and get people like going with cosplay.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause sometimes all you need is a club to get started.
yeah.
Like everyone's got their little starting foundation.
Little group of
somewhere.
people.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
really helps.
It's so true. It's so true. Are there any like bigger school events that you plan to bring the cosplay club to? Like, is there like a club fair or like other like I don't know events throughout the semester that you're going to take the club to? Maybe.
We haven't quite thought about like. I mean, we've gone to the club fair, though. We're not sure if there's many other club open events, but we do want to eventually host an event. We've had like talks about running a murder mystery dinner sort of thing,
Ooh,
and
yes.
collaborating with other clubs. A murder mystery dinner would be perfect because we would all be like playing in a role.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
Maybe not even a murder mystery dinner. Maybe a murder mystery lunch,
Yeah, lunch, right? Breakfast.
or maybe a murder mystery masquerade.
Oh, yes.
That'd be
yes.
sick. Yeah.
I would absolutely
Awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one of the last things we can talk about is like, do you have any tips that you wish you kind of knew when you first started that like you might want to tell people about? Like, not, it could be about crafting, it could be about like sewing, it could be anything.
Yeah, I have a couple, but to start with the more general, just prospects, I found myself early on really thinking that I needed more tools and more materials and more things to help me get in my foot in the door, and getting those things didn't necessarily help me get in the foot in my door. I mean, I had the tools there. And that definitely helps. Getting a sewing machine definitely helped, but also I had this big grand sort of prospect that I had to be a certain way to cosplay, that I had to reach a certain standard, and I didn't. And I didn't need to reach someone else's standard. I just needed to reach a standard that I liked. I had to reach a standard of cosplay that made me feel good about the character, and that's it. And another thing is that a lot of things in cosplay do come from secondhand.
Yes.
So thrifting is like the number one way to get supplies. Go to like the Goodwill outlet and you can buy like $1 per pound of like clothes.
And you could just use that for fabric if you wanted to.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Using clothes for fabric secondhand is absolutely one of the best way to get your hands on really expensive fabrics without needing to go buy it by the yard. Or it's some like,
Because it's expensive.
it is really expensive. It's also a really good way to get your hands on sewing machines, because there are good sewing machines that are especially nowadays, there's always like a sewing machine or two out in like a thrift store, because unfortunately sewing is kind of a dying hobby, so people are sort of giving them out in a way and stuff, and they're not always going to work. But you know, if it's between a $20 secondhand machine and like $150 like entrance fee for a good one, but definitely keep the receipt, you know.
yeah, right. Stops
For
working
sure.
on you immediately when you start using it.
Definitely keep the receipt, but you know, I went to Michael's not too long ago. I was at Michael's. I was like, this place is so expensive. Why would I buy anything from it? And then I walked into back, and there was this pristine, beautiful, heavy-duty sewing machine with a label of $25. They said someone returned it, and it was because it was missing one really cheap part that I could get for $8.99 online. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll take this heavy-duty sewing machine. It's $290 normally. Yep. I went home, and I even ordered the part in advance. I was so excited. I took it apart. The part was already there. It worked perfectly. It worked.
Oh my god! Well, now you have a backup part, I guess.
It worked. It was a literal bobbin holder.
Oh, yep.
And
they said it's missing. Someone probably just didn't know how to use it.
Yeah,
that's probably exactly what happened.
That's probably exactly what happened. And I just got it because I walked into a Michael's because I felt like it. And I was talking to Michael's.
I feel like I felt like it. Yeah. That's pretty much all I've got for that. So I will take it back to Tolkien.